Good day everyone. We are the Group 1 and will be presenting our research titled African Swine Fever Biosecurity from the lens of government veterinarians on routine biosecurity measures in Malay-Balay City. In this study, African swine fever biosecurity refers to the biosecurity measures that are implemented throughout the perimeter of a local city or province. Government veterinarians in this context refers to the local veterinarians who work in public service, particularly implementing the biosecurity measures to prevent and mitigate the risk of African swine fever as a threat to livestock farming, and Malay-Balay City is the capital city of Bukidnon, Region 10, Philippines. Our research specifically explored the perceptions of government veterinarians and what are the common challenges that they encounter in implementing the routine biosecurity measures. Exploring the perception of government veterinarians on the current ASF biosecurity measures is crucial to their locality, where it can raise awareness to hog raisers and address concerns to the authorities.
Now on to the objective of this research. Our first objective explores the government veterinarians' perceptions of routine biosecurity measure implementation in backyard-level hog raising and border checkpoints in Malay-Balay City. Next, our second objective determines the resources that government veterinarian services have made available for implementing routine biosecurity measures in backyard-level hog raising and border checkpoints in Malay-Balay City.
The third objective is to identify the gaps in biosecurity implementation by government veterinarians in backyard hog farming and checkpoints in Malay-Balay City. Our fourth objective is to propose actions and frameworks to improve the biosecurity implementation of the government veterinarians in Malay-Balay City. Lastly, our fifth objective is to analyze the impact of the improved biosecurity measures in backyard hog farming and checkpoints in Malay-Balay City proposed by the government veterinarian.
What are the problems encountered by the study participants, and what are the implications if they are not resolved? There are 5 participants in the study, namely Dr. Omar Kahana, Dr. Brian Lario, Ma'am Annabel Sia, Mr. Romeo Catabas, and Mr. Lester Odino, employees of Malay-Balay City Veterinary Office. The problems they encountered are individuals with fake identities spreading false information for their own benefit, limited budget and lack of resources, limited authority in checkpoint inspections or ASF biosecurity control, specifically with private vehicles, and lastly, lack of staff at border checkpoints and artificial insemination programs. If not resolved, they will all result to ineffective biosecurity control measures against ASF, increasing the possibility of ASF spread in Malay-Balay City, and disruption of operational stability in livestock businesses due to lack of resources, false information, and potential ASF spread.
We gathered data through semi-structured interviews with 5 government veterinary staff in Malay-Balay City conducted in February 2025, focusing on their experiences and challenges with ASF biosecurity measures.
Researchers proposed 2 key solutions to effectively combat African swine fever in Malay-Balay City. First, a strategic budget allocation is recommended to address the primary challenge of financial constraints reported by the City Veterinary Office. This approach aims to optimize existing government funds for salaries, regulations, and farmer compensation by prioritizing critical biosecurity needs, guided by the Resource Management Framework of Compass et al. 2019, particularly relevant when funds are limited. Second, a social media and digital SMS ASF awareness campaign is proposed to tackle communication barriers and misinformation. This digital initiative will deliver clear and accessible information on biosecurity, ASF science, and reporting, countering scams and misinformation prevalent in the local swine market, which ultimately enhances community awareness and response efforts.
Our proposed solution for biosecurity against ASF or African swine fever includes a strategic budget allocation, mainly focused on 4 different components, including prevention and surveillance, digital platforms, eradication, and damages. So for prevention and surveillance, we can have the funds for proactive measures like quarantine, enhanced surveillance, control measures, and even provision of biosecurity supplies. And we can also have a budget allocation for eliminating ASF during outbreaks and using digital platforms for public education, awareness, community engagement, and the dissemination of accurate information about ASF.
How will you implement the solution that you will formulate? So for our first proposed solution, we have our strategic budget allocation. So this will be pitched to the Department of Budget and Management of the local government unit of Malaybalay City. The budgeting process of the national government consists of 4 separate phases. We have budget preparation, budget authorization, budget execution, and accountability. In this case, while preparing for the upcoming budget year, government agencies continue to execute the current year's budget and simultaneously review and assess the budget from the previous year. For our second proposed solution, this would be an information dissemination campaign. Formally, this will be proposed to the local government unit of Malaybalay City for adoption as a city ordinance. This ordinance will establish the campaign as an official, legally binding initiative. The City Veterinary Office will integrate this initiative during their monthly information education campaigns for local hog raisers and farmers. During these sessions, the methods of information dissemination, such as Facebook and Instagram postings, will be demonstrated to the farmers, emphasizing, identifying, and avoiding misinformation, and reinforcing the City Veterinary Office as the sole source of verified information.
To evaluate the effectiveness of the implemented solutions, we will employ a combination of cost analysis to identify any unforeseen expenses, performance assessments comparing project metrics before and after the implementation, and monitoring the incidence of African swine fever cases over a 12-month period. Additionally, we will track the frequency of misinformation reports and measure all participation rates in awareness campaigns through data collected by the City Veterinary Office of Malaybalay City, ensuring that both disease incidents and community engagement serve as critical indicators for success.
Now let us move on to the conclusion of our presentation. So this study explored the perceptions of government veterinarians in Malaybalay City regarding implementing routine biosecurity measures against African swine fever or ASF. By examining the perspectives of the government veterinarians, this research illuminates practical barriers to effective disease control. Ultimately, this study contributes to the development of evidence-based strategies that can be adapted and implemented in other regions facing active cases of ASF, thereby strengthening national efforts to combat ASF and safeguard the livelihoods of Filipino farmers. Thank you for listening to our